Spotify and Anchor are teaming up. This is a big deal. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dan from MillennialMotivator.ca, helping you learn how to create, engage, and inspire. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button down there, little bell next to it. You can get notified when my next video goes live. For today, we are talking about something kind of huge. If anybody out there doesn't know what Anchor is yet, you need to be on it. Anchor really simplified the entry point for podcasting. It made it so simple that you could just pick up your phone, throw out a podcast, quick and easy, putting it up to your ear. I use it daily just to throw out a motivational minute. I highly recommend it for anybody that's been wrestling with a podcast and wasn't sure how to get started. It really is an all-sweet tool for anybody starting a podcast on a phone. Now, that being said, there are some shortcomings that have been in and around Anchor, and it looks like this merger with Spotify is going to solve a lot of those problems. So stick around. We're going to take a look at how Spotify merging with Anchor, or Anchor merging with Spotify, is super beneficial for the platform. Okay, first and foremost, Anchor, like I said, is a simple app that you download on your phone. It allows you to record on the go, and even better, it allows you to distribute to about 8 or 9 different platforms for podcasts. So Google Podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, a couple other ones, but those are the main ones. SoundCloud's not on there yet, but I assume now it's probably going to happen. So that's the first one I want to talk about, is the multiple platforms you can distribute to. Instead of you having to log in, sign up, distribute one by one to each of these networks, Anchor allows you to quickly and easily list your podcast to multiple podcast providers, developers, all at once, which has been a phenomenal thing for me where I'm not sure exactly which network's going to work best. So throwing my podcast out there onto 8 or 9 different networks and seeing which one it resonates best with has been crucial for me. So that being said, merging with Spotify is going to give them a little bit of a boost as far as notoriety, as far as other podcasts being aware that this isn't a joke, this is a big deal, and hopefully that will open more doors for who we can broadcast to down the road. It's a huge boost for notoriety for sure, where people are going to become more and more familiar with the platform. So that's a great place to get started. But why else does this have me excited? One of the biggest shortcomings with Anchor has been its lack of analytics. To be honest, the back end, outside of showing you where the views are coming from, there's very little customizable analytics as to listen length, number of downloads, number of online listens, number of device listens, understanding your demographics. That just has been non-existent. And I think largely that's been because it was outside of their scope as far as their team was concerned. They just didn't have the skill set necessary in order to bring that fully into depth. Now, Spotify is a different animal. Spotify is a massive beast that understands the reason why you need to have solid data management if you're looking to grow your podcast. So I can expect shortly, as Spotify and Anchor wrestle this out and figure out what it's going to look like, we are going to see in a massive way how analytics are going to explode out of Anchor. We are going to see in a massive way how Spotify's merger with Anchor is going to bring analytics and data management for podcasters on the platform out in a massive way. It's such a huge opportunity that's being presented here. So I'm excited to see what Spotify can accomplish with that. Last but not least, of course, I think there's going to be more of a boost to the Anchor content coming to Spotify from this. Now, looking at the different mediums that my podcast goes out to, my number one is almost always exclusively Spotify. There are times where Google Podcasts come close, iTunes occasionally bumps up depending on the topic of the episode, but in reality, Spotify is my big beast. So knowing that Spotify is going to give Anchor a little bit more attention, a little bit more love, is added incentive for people to get on the platform. Now, if you're not already using Anchor, this is even better for you because now is the prime time to do it. Plugging in and using this and distributing it into a Spotify podcast channel is essential, absolutely essential to making this happen. So if you're not already using Anchor and you are on Spotify, it may be worth it for you to hop onto Anchor, transition a little bit, and then redistribute out to other networks as well. You're going to get the boost for using Anchor, but you're also going to have the opportunity to get out onto these other platforms. That's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you better understand what Anchor is about, how Spotify is pairing with them, and how you can benefit from this in a massive way. If you're not sure, again, about whether or not to plug into this, check out Anchor down below, anchor.fm. The link will be down below in the description. You can check it out, play for fun, enjoy it, even if you're just trying short form content. I know my podcast is only about a minute a day that I throw out there. It doesn't need to be a massive undertaking. It just needs to be out there. If you guys could let me know in the comments down below, if you are an Anchor user, if this has you pumped up and ready to go, this pairing with Spotify, or maybe you've got some concerns. If you're not using Anchor, let me know down below if this entices you to join the program.